At the beginning of the movie, we watch a long-haired girl who runs out into the street at night. The heroine sobs, constantly looks around, and escapes from the pursuit in the house of an elderly woman. A short time later, Katie Feldman, who has changed her hair, still constantly looking around, shows up at the train station and buys a ticket. Her husband, a policeman named Kevin, drives up to the station and interrogates the cashier. The man, seeing a photo of Kathy with long hair, claims he has not served a girl like that. Meanwhile, the heroine is nervously anxious to get on the bus and leave this town. Kevin guesses that Katie is not in the station building and goes outside. The man begins to stop buses. However, the heroine is lucky and she does not catch his eye. Kathy continues her journey and arrives in a small sunny town in the south. The heroine drinks coffee on the wharf, admires the views, and decides to stop in this quiet and cozy place. Meanwhile, police officers check the video from the bus station. A few hours later, Kevin manages to spot Katie on a bus heading to Atlanta. The heroine sleeps under the piles, and in the morning decides to get a job and applies to the cafe. The manager agrees to accept Katie and explains the main points of the job. After work, the heroine examines a small house in the woods and decides to rent it. At night, Kathy has a nightmare about her past with her husband. The next day, the heroine goes to the store. In addition to groceries, Katie wants to buy paint to decorate her new house a little. At the cash register, she is helped by a little girl named Lexi. The heroine has a cute conversation with her and asks her to bring samples. While Lexi goes to get the catalog, Katie meets another person. Alex Whitley also works at the store and is very surprised that the heroine has moved to such a quiet town. When Kathy leaves, a man named Roger good-naturedly banter about how the guy was trying to get her attention. At work, the heroine notices the cops and nervously takes cover behind the bar. However, it turns out that the employees are actually trying to find out who parked in the wrong place. Near her house, Katie notices a suspicious figure. However, it turns out that it is only her neighbor Joe, who also likes silence very much and therefore chose privacy. Katie is wary but friendly with the girl, after which she enters her home. Meanwhile, Kevin continues his investigation. The man learns that Atlanta is a major transfer point from which you can get to any city in America. Kevin is angry, as the search for Katie promises to be more difficult than he thought. In the morning, the heroine visits the store to order paint. When Katie leaves, Roger asks Alex with a smile how long ago they started selling such products. The heroine receives a drawing from Lexi as a gift and thanks the girl. On the way home, Katie runs into Joe and has a nice conversation with her all the way to the fork in the road. Meanwhile, Kevin is interviewing people from nearby homes. The woman who sheltered Kathy lies that she doesn't know her. While working, the heroine accidentally learns from the manager that Alex lost his wife not so long ago and has not yet recovered from it. Soon, passing by the store, Katie hears her name. She is summoned by Alex, who has received the paint and also ordered a primer for her separately. The guy offers Katie a ride and she agrees, but not immediately. Some time passes. Alex continues to watch the heroine from afar. Katie herself is getting settled in a new house, working, communicating with Joe. One evening, the heroine has another flashback. She remembers how she ran into her room, covered with red liquid, and began to frantically gather things. After that, Katie tried to slip out through the kitchen door unnoticed. Suddenly, the heroine wakes up from a nightmare and sees a strange light in the windows. Katie gets nervous and locks her door, but the visitor soon leaves. In the morning, the heroine finds a bicycle near her house, which Alex left her. Katie goes to the guy and returns the gift. Joe advises not to be so timid and not to feel obliged for signs of attention. The next day, Katie comes into the store again and apologizes to the guy for being overly angry. When Alex gets visitors from the bus, the heroine gets a little lost by their stares and goes outside with Lexi. Katie accidentally sees Josh, the guy's son, fall off the boat into the water and screams. Alex manages to save the boy, but he acts very ungrateful and walks away. Katie comforts a crying Lexi. After this incident, the heroine still agrees to accept the bike. Meanwhile, Kevin decides to speed up the search for his wife. The policeman changes the hairstyle and hair color on the photo, indicates that the heroine is a dangerous criminal, and is going to send this document to many cities. The next day, Lexi invites Katie to go to the beach, and the girl agrees. Josh thinks it's a little weird, but doesn't protest. Alex is happy to have the opportunity to be with the heroine and often takes pictures. The day at the beach goes wonderfully. In the evening, the heroes go back and drive Katie home. The heroine shows Alex her floors, painted yellow on Lexi's advice. The guy accidentally steps in the wrong place and puts a hole in the boards. Katie laughs and explains that she's been there before, so it's okay. Kevin tries again to question the woman who helped the heroine, but she refuses to answer what she's already heard. At night, Katie catches a fish with her colleagues, and the next day brings it to a guy as a present. Alex thanks the heroine and offers to eat flounder together at dinner. With vague hints, the guy tries to offer Katie to go canoeing with him. On Roger's advice, Alex nevertheless speaks directly about his desire and receives consent from the heroine. The next day, the guy is going on a trip. Roger warns that rain is possible and asks to be careful. However, Alex thinks that everything will go fine and the weather will be clear. Katie likes the place her boyfriend shows her. Alex tells her that he used to come here often with his wife, and after her funeral, he lived for years without lifting his head because of grief and taking care of his children. Now, however, the lad claims he has finally lifted his head, and it's all thanks to Katie. The pleasant conversation is interrupted by rain, just as Roger predicted. Alex pulls the boat to the shore and together with the laughing heroine runs to the cafe. The couple sits there until late in the evening, waiting for a friend who can give them a ride. Alex offers the heroine to dance, and they almost kiss each other. However, suddenly the room is illuminated by light. A loud voice sounds on the walkie-talkie. Katie is very frightened, but it turns out that it's just a policeman friend who is supposed to pick them up. Already near the house, seeing the heroine off, Alex kisses her. At night, a guy can't sleep and goes to his wife's room. In the desk drawer, Alex sees the letters she wrote for their children. The guy reflects on the fact that he is distancing himself from the kids by spending time with Katie. At that moment, Josh comes calling for him. The boy is angry that Alex went to his mom's room and thinks he doesn't care about her memory. Meanwhile, Kevin continues his investigation and returns home. In the morning, he discovers a pie recipe on the floor. Katie, meanwhile, remembers a woman who helped her a lot and decides to call her to tell her that she has finally found a house. Kevin guesses the neighbor's involvement and goes to see her. The woman is frightened by the intrusion, but does not give up and promises that she will only open the door when there is a warrant. The heroine, however, continues to develop her relationship with Alex, rejoicing in the understanding and harmony that has arisen between them. Soon the guy comes to the police station to his friend. On the wall, he notices a picture of Katie that Kevin has been sending out to all the towns. Alex fights with the heroine, who tries to explain that she is innocent and is being sought by her abusive cop husband. Meanwhile, the chief calls Kevin to his office and suspends him for abuse of authority and printouts with deception about Katie. On the way home, the heroine recalls the time her husband attacked her over nothing. Then Kathy had to wound him to escape and save her life. Joe tries to talk Katie out of leaving, but nothing works. Alex tries to talk to the heroine and promises to protect her. Meanwhile, Kevin sneaks into the neighbor's house, hears the recording of Kathy's call, and thus gets her number. In the meantime, the heroine talks about her marriage and cries, as she has never been able to share her grief with anyone before. Kevin reaches the cafe where Kathy works, but sees that it is closed because of the holiday. The man is angry and behaves almost inappropriately because of his drinking. Going into the store, Kevin buys water and talks to Lexi. The policeman shows a photo of Katie and asks if she has seen her. However, the girl coldly lies, saying that this is the first time she has seen the girl in the picture. Lexi is picked up by her father, and together they head off to the party. Kevin returns to the car, swaps water for booze, and draws his gun. The cop makes his way through the crowd, looking at each blonde. Suddenly, Kevin notices his wife kissing another man. The man is shocked by what he sees and leaves the party. During the night, Alex leaves to launch fireworks and takes Josh with him. Katie stays with Lexi and goes out to the marina. The heroine runs into Kevin, who is crying and asks to talk. Katie agrees, but offers to go outside. The heroine manages to convince Kevin to leave, However, she realizes that he will be back soon. Katie takes Lexi upstairs and calls Alex in a panic, but he doesn't hear her calls while launching fireworks. Through the window, the heroine notices Kevin pouring gasoline on the store. Katie runs outside, hugs the man, and asks him to take her home. However, the heroine only takes advantage of this to push Kevin into the water. A spark from the fireworks hits the gasoline, starting the countdown. Katie tries to save Lexi but is attacked by her husband. Alex notices the flames and strives to get to his daughter and save her. Despite the difficulties, the guy manages to break the glass, pull Lexi onto the roof, and convince her to jump into his arms. Meanwhile, Katie continues to struggle with Kevin, who pulls out a gun. Alex hears a loud pop and runs toward the heroine. Kevin slowly slides down, and alive and terrified Katie is shown from underneath him. Alex and Lexi embrace the heroine, wanting to cope with the horror that has come over them. In the remains of the house, the guy finds his wife's letters and is happy that they survived. Josh confesses that he misses his mom, and Alex tries to support and comfort him. Katie says goodbye to Joe and gets ready to leave. Alex gives the heroine a letter from his wife. Reading it, Katie sees a picture and realizes that Alex's wife was Jo, and in fact she could never see or talk to her. The heroine rushes to the guy and hugs him, feeling boundless love. Katie realizes that Jo introduced her to Alex on purpose so that he and the kids could finally be happy. This is the end of the movie. Thank you all for watching this video to the end. Give this video a like. Write in the comments what you think about this movie, and see you in new videos.